that one. We were all hoping that the lion would completely get the guy. I would have paid money to watch that lion actually get those guys. How pathetic were they? How many of them were firing weapons? 3, 4? And there was that woman with them. You hear her going, ah! I'm sorry, I have no respect for those people. That is not hunting. Those people are holding rifles and they don't even know how to aim properly. It's disgusting. But I tell you what, I was rooting for the lion. And so you, Pens and Dovu, this is disgusting. I was so wanting that lion to get them. And cowards in capital letters. Mike says, oh my gosh, he has a tripod to aim. Ellipsite, this is carnage and brutal. Claire said he was a brave lion and he tried hard. And Valerie B. should be coloradocowards.com. I agree with you guys. I think it is pathetic. And you know, that lion went out fighting like a lion, and I have more respect for him than I will for any of those human beings that participated in it. But let me tell you that hunters like that are not bright people. Bright people don't behave like that, for starters. But here's a little story for you, an exclusive. In one private reserve complex here in South Africa, I'm afraid I cannot tell you which, a fascinating story happened about 2 weeks ago when a big American hunter came through. What did he want to do? He wanted to shoot lions. The rangers went out and they darted the lion for him. But they made a mistake and they put too much tranquilizer and the lion ended up dying. But they weren't going to risk another animal. He'd paid for that animal and that's the animal he was going to get. So the rangers took the body of the lion, popped it into the big deep freezer back at the lodge, waited for the hunt day to come around after having taken this hunter around and around in the bush for days, and they laid the body of the lion once they'd taken it out of the deep freeze under a tree, supposedly sleeping. This hunter was so stupid that he actually couldn't tell the difference between a live lion and a dead lion, and he proceeded to shoot the body of this frozen lion from the back of the vehicle. Upon shooting the lion, he wanted to go and see his victorious kill, and the rangers wouldn't let him. And the reason for this was because the lion was still frozen. They couldn't get the hunter to go over there and have a look because then they would have been bust. But it has had everybody at the various lodges in absolute hysterics because this guy was so stupid that he didn't know that the lion was dead beforehand. So he went off, the big man, to have his beer back at the bar, not even realizing that he'd done nothing more heroic than if he'd wiped his face with a wet cloth. Maybe what we should do, ladies and gentlemen, is think of a way to actually get around these issues. I'm afraid we've only got 16 seconds left. If you can bear with me for another minute or two, I think I'll start to wrap up the show. Flat frozen cat from Kathy and Pens and Dover. Oh my God, how stupid. Absolutely, guys, absolutely. We're dealing with people here who don't have very high moral or ethical standards, and therefore I will automatically assume, and I don't know about the rest of you, that they obviously haven't got 2 threads or shreds of dignity or morality to rub together. It's been a good one, guys. Thank you so much for all of your feedback. And before we actually end off, I'd just like to say very much thank you once again to our many, many viewers who wrote in particular. Patty Mulligan, Lisa Selby, Sandy Ross, Mike Denser, Kim Johnson. There were many of you. And of course, always support from Emily and Graham. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is up now. I have run over. So I hope I've planted a seed of thought in your minds today that there needs to be an alternative way that we deal with these very pressing issues. I know that Pat and I have been talking about it, and Pete's going to be talking a bit on his blog tomorrow about a shaming routine. For example, you go to a person's house and they've got a stuffed lion head on the wall. You can say, hey, well done, did you hunt it frozen or tranquilized? And make them feel about this big in physical and mental terms, if you pardon. That's it for tonight, guys. I must tell you, tomorrow night's and the future night's topics are being debated at the moment. The 2 ones that are prominent right now are zoos and whether they are in fact ethical places for conservation. I'd appreciate video clips, thoughts and viewpoints on that. There is also the big debate about rhino horn. It is in fact a harvestable resource, but you know, there's a lot of environmental and ethical schools still out on that one. So rhino horns, zoos, I'll be posting those bits of information onto my Facebook page for you. There's also a SLAPP group page that has been started as well, so please do have a look for that. Join it, because that's going to be a place for debate, a platform for debate, and an area where we can all go together and bash out these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with me for a very emotional show tonight. I'd like to say once again thanks to the fabulous Pete directing in the control room, my wonderful Patty, who's been backing me up every step of the way and taking the laptop away when I cry too much, and most especially to you guys out there for all your support, for hearing me and for helping me debate some of these very, very important issues. So from me, until tomorrow night, good night, slap it around and keep well. Good night.